It's the NFL on EA Sports. And front and center is Tucker Kraft. He's going to be a busy man in the passing game. It's the Packers and the Niners, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Well, the 49ers getting ready to go on offense, and it's the Pro Bowler Brock Purdy at the helm in his 3rd NFL season now out of Iowa State.
He threw for nearly 350 yards. His team won. And one word just kept coming to mind as I watched him during the game: surgical. Absolutely surgical. That's why he won NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, very precise. The throws maybe as accurate as he's been in some time.
Yeah, I think he feels pretty locked in here, and I think he feels like he can get it done again in this one, too.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down. This defense for the Packers, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Devontae Wyatt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. So the Packers make their way out for the first time, and it's Jordan Love that has the keys to the car here in his 5th season as a pro and 2nd as a starter.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly, but they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, but as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. 38-yard line, 2nd and 9. In motion, the tight end. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Short throw, he's got Kraft. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Try to run for it with Jacobs. Breaks a tackle. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. The Packers at 6-4 now on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
Holding offense.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Able to find his man, Kraft. The numbers for him from a week ago. 7 catches, 68 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Jacobs going to try the middle. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to...
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Leonard Floyd drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
The kick by McManus is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. They are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he will work his way out of bounds here at the 25-yard line. A big play there for the Niners. 46 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Now Purdy. Gets this one to Juszczyk. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Rashawn Gary able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped.
All start offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Purdy from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell on now to punt it away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Love. That's complete. He finds Jaden Reed. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Now 2nd and 3. They'll run right here with Jacobs. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. You look at this Niner defense, and they played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. Yes, it's the first half, but we'll see if that stuff there on 3rd and 1 comes back to haunt them.
I hope you don't mind, but it's not going to stop me from putting a check mark next to this play. Let's look back as this game progresses and see if this is one of the key plays in the game, even though it occurred early.
Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The Niners offense and Brock Purdy getting ready for this next possession. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Purdy. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says that the slot receivers are the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch? Really nice job there, showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 33. Here's the option. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. Purdy will set up to throw it here. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
And he is going to have a Niners 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. Touchdown 49ers! George Kittle, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers have now taken the lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Jake Moody now for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. That time a 6-play drive. And it all ends with a George Kittle touchdown. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one, because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there's no way that ball was going to be caught.
That is caught and past the 40 before he's out of bounds. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
They will throw again here with Jordan Love. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Love now. This pass complete to Melton. Touchdown, Packers! Bo Melton, 59 yards. And the Packers have retaken the lead. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back. And fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. McManus's point after is good. And the lead is now 10-7. 5 plays there on that drive. And Bo Melton with a touchdown reception to finish the drive off. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Out is their quarterback with this offense to take over once more. He had the touchdown pass last drive to George Kittle. See what they can do here as they start out 1st and 10. That is incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Purdy looking to throw. Dancing to his left. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Back to throw, Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Purdy now to throw. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Here's Purdy. And incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Connects with Kittle underneath. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Throwing here, Purdy. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 6. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Eric Wilson gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
So here are the Packers now to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
They work now on 2nd and 9. To throw now. Here's Love. And Love is going to slide down and pick up the first. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
Here's Love.
A short throw to Musgrave.
2 yards on the pickup there, and it's 2nd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Throwing. Love.
Got Dobbs over the middle.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 6-yard line.
Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Josh Jacobs, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Extra point from McManus is good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. through the contact and up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. Play action, now Purdy. He's got the hookup downfield to Samuel. Down to the 10, and across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Deebo Samuel, 74 yards. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. And he continues to be a focal point of this offense. That's now 10 touchdown catches for him on the year. Extra point try now for Moody. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. 3rd down and 6. Now Love. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. And he's going to have the Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Love looking to throw it. Finding room at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now a 2nd and 2. Going back to Love. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Love. Caught on the right side, Reed. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. To the air again, Love. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. The kick by McManus is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll get started out west in Las Vegas, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Bo Nix, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. We just watched a solid first half from the 2022 rushing champ, Josh Jacobs. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter.
And able to get this out to the 25. The Packer offense ready to go to begin this 3rd quarter.
We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Now this aired out deep for Reed.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Love, they go play action now.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 45 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10.
Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. 46 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another 1st down run right there.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8.
At the 8-yard line.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Love now.
That's to the pylon and incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call him for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
A 25-yard attempt.
The kick by McManus is good, and that will make this a 9-point lead. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
And from the gun, here's Abanikanda. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Purdy now to throw off the play action.
That is caught. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big third down play there for the Niners. 43 yards.
Well, that was a pretty good time for his first catch of the ball game, and it turned into a huge play as well. He's certainly not been a central part of this passing game so far in this one, but he made his presence felt there. A big pickup on third down.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Shotgun now with Purdy.
Gets this one to Juszczyk. So no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Kyle Juszczyk. A 24-yard touchdown.
And the Niners have cut it back within a score. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we didn't put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
Moody good with the extra point.
And the lead is down to 2. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Packers ready to take over offensively. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. 56 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
A short throw to Musgrave.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
He finds his man, complete. It's Reed.
He's still on his feet.
Touchdown, Packers!
Jayden Reed.
62 yards.
And the Packers are able to stretch out their lead.
Had the option to hand that one off or run it himself, but instead, a really easy, quick pass.
I like the way they made a decisive decision and got it right to the receiver. One move later, he's in the end zone.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Niners offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Delay of game, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still second down.
Purdy looking to throw.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Now Purdy. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 15 yards there for number 15.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Purdy will look to throw again here.
This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it's second down.
Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Purdy going to give it to Guerendo.
And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Here's Guerendo on first down.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more.
Lucas Van Ness in there on the tackle. Green Bay, Wisconsin is the spot. Third quarter inside Lambeau. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10.
Muscles him off. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Throwing here, Purdy.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
2nd and a couple.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
First and 10 at the
counter play with Jacobs. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Here's Love. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now at Lambeau, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The 49ers offense and Deebo Samuel headed back onto the field. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game. Back to throw, Purdy.
Connects with Kittle underneath. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the 1st.
They'll try the middle with Gurindo.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Big Kenny Clark that time pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss. In motion comes the tight end left.
Here's Purdy.
Connects with Kittle underneath. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Handoff here, Gurindo.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Here's 2nd and 10. Purdy now to throw. To the right side and intercepted.
And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
But here in the 4th quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and saying, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages. But not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT.
Following the interception, Love. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
Here's 2nd and 3.
They will run the draw with Jacobs. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Packers are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
Throwing. Love. This will be caught at about the 5. Touchdown!
Tucker Kraft.
A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Packers are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. A 15-point game now. You make the extra point, and that means on the other side you need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. That's a pretty tall order here in the 4th quarter.
Agreed, because they really needed to come up with a stop there, and even if it was just to hold them to a field goal. Now they need to pull out the lucky horseshoe because they've got to get an onside kick, and we've seen nowadays those are incredibly difficult to come by.
And not to mention they got to get the touchdown and a 2-point conversion first.
And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches, and the 2-point attempt is turned aside. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
The 49ers offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
That is caught. Downfield is Pearsall.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
On the give, it's Garindo.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
2nd and 10.
Slot man moves right.
Purdy from the gun.
He'll get this to Jennings over the middle. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Delay of game, offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still 3rd down.
Delay of game penalty. Ships him back 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 10.
Purdy.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field.
And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but
maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there of playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Love. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Delay of game, offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Out of the gun, Purdy. Well, same target, same result. It's Kittle.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up second down.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
And he will find his man, Samuel. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 38-yard line. They'll look to throw again.
Again, he'll find Samuel for the completion. Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8.
Open man is Samuel, complete. And this offense on third down today, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw again.
And that is incomplete. The pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. That's Samuel, caught left side.
And he's going to be out of bounds, a few yards shy of the line to gain. And that's going to be a turnover on downs.
So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still.
Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10.
At about the 32.
He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. Fred Warner, the all-pro linebacker, there on the stop.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. On now is the Packers punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory.
The visitors' offense and their big play wideout getting ready to get back to work. Here's 1st and 10. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively. Purdy to throw.
Connects with Kittle underneath. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
Here's Purdy.
He's going to let it fly. And this is caught at the 20. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
Here's Purdy to throw.
Touchdown 49ers. George Kittle, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the 49ers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for 1 here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
So a minute and change to go, and this is going to be an onside kick. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And they will take a knee here.
To a knee goes Love, and that should be that.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
They put up their goal at the beginning of the season, and that was to win 7 games, and now they've accomplished that mission.
And congratulations to them for achieving their goal. They have to finish the season strong, but you've got to think that going forward for next year, they're going to jump that number up a little bit higher.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.